haven't met him, but as a clinical and forensic psychologist, I find the case of Randy Herman is fascinating. This dynamic of Randy growing up with the two women in his life and not experiencing traditional masculinity. And so his relationship with women is really tied up with a lot of emotionality. And there may be something about the present dynamic with Brooke and Jordan that was somewhat emotionally similar to what he had with his mother and his sister. Brooke spent a lot of time on social media. She posted a lot, especially about her family. Toxic masculinity is a relatively new term, but it's really a term that's describing an old idea.
Dink, say goodbye to Felix. Man talk.
And it's a way of exploiting male privilege in a way to create dominance and power. Randy is a small guy living in a situation with two women who are, by all accounts, probably in a stronger position than he is. They've got financial security. And I think there is something to be said about the pressures of our current time. That we live in a society where everything is open for public consumption. And so people's envies can be easily stirred because instead of comparing themselves to the 2 or 3 kids in their class, they've got like 40,000 on the internet that they're measuring themselves against. And for those that have a history of trauma, neglect, a history of feeling insufficient in some way, they are more vulnerable to being impacted by those feelings of envy and longing. And they end up driving sometimes some of their behaviors, some of their choices. There seem to be really 3 possibilities. One, that Randy's lying. He did this, he remembers everything, and he's lying about it. The second possibility is the possibility posed by his defense, which is that he experienced a parasomnia, and the result of that was that he had no consciousness of what he was doing and has no conscious recollection of having done it. And then, of course, there's the third possibility that he may have done this in an act of rage, triggered by the traumatic experience of rejection. And so he is either dissociated from it or can't allow himself to own what he does actually remember about it. There's, I think, a growing concern about the impact of sleep disruption. As we move into a society riddled with interrupted sleep, we're going to see more and more of these kinds of problems emerge.